So guys, hello and welcome to this tutorial. In the previous tutorial we saw from array up to I. So these all were the functions in NumPy library. But now we're going to see this random module. So remember, I didn't say random function, I said random module. So random is a module, and inside this random module there are more functions. So basically what is happening, there is NumPy, which is the whole library. Inside NumPy there is this random module, and inside this random module there are some functions that we are going to use for creating some arrays. Basically these are the functions and modules that are used for creating arrays. Fine. So what does this module do? This random is a module in NumPy library, remember, that generates random number routines. So basically we're just generating random numbers, and they are just being the elements of the particular array that we are going to create. Fine. So there are these four functions, important functions, that we are going to discuss in this random module. One is rand, then randn, ranf, and randint. So I'm going to discuss them one by one. First of all, let us see rand. So what does this rand function do? It creates an array. No, sorry, this is not and, this is an. So creates an array of specified shape and fills it with random values as per uniform distribution. Values will be from 0 to 1. So it is known as a half open interval. That is, it is 0 is included but 1 is excluded. That's why. So let us jump to the coding part directly. So first of all, let us import numpy as np, and let us get some help from PyCharm. So hold on. So remember, first of all, you need to get access to the random module. So to get access to the random module, you need to write np.random. So now you got access to the random module, but you want to get access to the functions in this random module. So now what is happening? This whole is a function. Like assume this whole is a function. So to get access, not function actually, module. Sorry. So this whole is a module. So to get access to a particular function in this module, you'll have to write this module name dot the function name, right? So after this random, again give one more dot and write the function name. So the function name is rand, as I told it to all. So when I run this code, I'll just get some bunch of information about it. So first of all, see, rand is a method of numpy.random. It basically creates some random values and it stores in an array. So what are the parameters of this array? There are d0 to dn. That is, they are just some integers. They are just the dimensions. I remember they are not negative, so they are non-negative. They are always positive. That's why. So they will be from d0 to dn. So basically 0 dimension, 1 dimension, and so on. So what does it return? It returns an n-dimensional array. That dimension we are going to specify by using these parameters, and the shape will be according to those dimensions that we are going to specify. Fine. So now let us look at some examples. So first of all, let us print out numpy dot. Now we want to get access to the random module. We got access to the module. Now we want to get access to the function. So dot, not random, dot rand, and inside this we have to just specify. Suppose I write 5. Now I'll get 5 elements. So when I run this code, see, I got some 5 elements, and they are from 0 to 1, and 1 is not included, so there are some floating point values. So if you write say 2 comma 3 or 2 comma 4, then this becomes dimension, that is 2 cross 4 matrix or array. So we got a 2 cross 4 matrix, that is 2 rows and 1 2 3 4 columns. So in this way we have to work on the rand function. Fine. So after the rand function, there comes randn function. So what does this do? It creates an array. So again, it is not and, this is an. Creates an array of specified shape and fills it with random values as per standard normal distribution. So basically here we are just going to use the normal distribution. So instead of help, hold on, I'll just take some help. np dot random dot rand n now. So not just rand, it is going to be rand n. So this is different from it because the range is not going to be from 0 to 1. It is going to be different. So again, the parameters are the same thing, that is the dimensions of the particular array that we want. Fine. And what does this do? It returns a n-dimensional array of floating value. So this is going to be a shape where a floating point sample from the standard normal distribution. So remember, it is a normal distribution, not uniform distribution. Fine. And if you don't specify any parameters, so hold on, I'll explain it to you all again. Hold on. So print out np.random, and we want to use randn, right? So rand n. Fine. And now we have to specify the parameters. So if you write 5 again over here, now the values won't be from 0 to 1, they can be negative as well. And now again, if you write 2 comma say 4 and run this code, then you will get 2 cross 4 matrix or array. Fine. So I was telling you, if you don't specify any particular argument inside it, then it will return a random value. So this is any one random value. Same thing goes for rand as well. So I am not writing rand n, I am just writing rand and running this code without any parameters. So we are just getting a particular random value. Fine. Now after rand and rand n, we are going to see ranf. So remember, this is not randf, this is just ranf. So this confuses me a lot. That's why I just told it to you all. So what does it do? It creates an array. Again, it is and. I don't know why I did this spelling mistake, whatever. So it creates an array of specified shape and fills it with random floats. So we are going to get some floating point values, and they're just going to be in the half open interval, that is from 0 to 1. So floating values, right? So that will be 0.0 to 1.0, and 1 is excluded, that is exclusive, and 0 is inclusive. Fine. So ran f. So again, let's get some help. And np dot random dot ranf, not randf, remember. So it is just telling us that, what does this do? This is the alias of random.sample. So we'll get help of this particular function of using ranf, so that we just want the information, right? That's why I'm writing random sample, because it's just an alias. Fine. So what does this function do? Basically, we just need to see the parameters. We don't need to see the details of random sample, because we have to see about the ranf. So fine, size, it is a size, this is just an integer or tuple of integers, and this is optional. And fine, what does this return? It returns a floating or n-dimensional array of floats. Fine, that's all that it does do. So let us do one thing. Let us simply get an example so that we understand what is happening. So np.random dot ranf, and hold on, why is caps lock on? Ranf, fine. And let us specify say 2 and run this code. So it will give us an array containing 2 elements which are random values, floating values. Remember, if you write 2 comma say 5, and now if you run this code, it will give us an error because it is not the same thing as we did before. So it is not the 2 and 5 are not the dimensions, remember. So if you write 4, then you'll get 4 elements. So that's why I told it to you all. Fine, this was all about ranf. Now there's this last randint. So what does this do? It creates an array of specified shape, and it fills it with random integers from low to high. So yes, there are some parameters that are different. We'll see them. So low is inclusive and high is exclusive. I'll tell actually, we'll have to discuss about it. Hold on. So first of all, let us get some help so that we get the parameters. So np dot random dot randint. So it is not randint. Remember, it is randint. Fine. Yeah. So see, now there are some parameters that we need to know. There are low, high, size, and data type. So regarding data type, you know this argument. So if you write data type equals to integer, then the returning array will be of integer type, and so on. So I'm not going to discuss this over here. Fine. So about low. So what does this do? This is the lowest. That is basically a range. That is low to high. So if you write 2 to 4, then it will be the range basically of the elements in that array. So and remember, 2 is included and 4 will be excluded. The basic range function. So if you write for I in range, and when you write say 2 to 4, then 2 is included and 4 is excluded. The same thing goes over here as well. And size is basically the size of the array or number of elements basically. So what does it say? Integer or tuple of integers. This is optional obviously. And remember over here, high, size, and data type are optional arguments, and low is a compulsory argument. Fine. So let us do one thing. We'll have to specify the range obviously. So let us print out np dot random dot randint. And remember, I forgot to tell you, obviously it is the name is randint, so it basically says that it is going to be an integer array, because integers, randint. So randint, and now you have to specify the range, low to high. So suppose let us start from, let us say 1, let us go up to 5, and remember over here 1 will be included but 5 will be excluded. And now if you run this code, it will give us just one element, that is between 1 to 5, because we didn't specify the size. So if you don't specify the size, it will just give us some one random element. But after that you can do one thing, just give a comma, specify size. So suppose you write size equals to 5, then it will give us an array containing 5 elements, or it can be a tuple as well. So say you write size is equals to 2 comma 4, now it will be a 2 cross 4 array, that is 2 rows and 4 columns. And remember, 5 is exclusive, so the array, so basically the integers will be 1, 2, 3 and 4, that is 5 will be excluded. But if you write 6 over here, then 5 will be included. So yeah, see, 5 also we get. So fine. Now let us do one thing. Let us not write low and high, because I told it to you all, there is only one possibility, not one possibility, there is only one compulsory argument, which is low. Others are not compulsory. So suppose I write low as 5 and I run this code. Hold on, yeah, I forgot one parameter, yeah, bracket actually. So see, if I run this code and I wrote low equals to 5 and it gave us output as 3. So isn't it confusing? Because I told it will go from low to high, that is 5 to infinity should go, right? But it is not working like that. So what is the new point. So actually I wrote it over here. So low is inclusion, high is exclusion. I told it to you all before. Now over here, if high is not mentioned, that is if high is equal to none, the default value of high is none. If you remember the help thing that we did. So if it is not mentioned, then the interval will be from 0 to low. It will be BE. So it will be from 0 to low, where low will be excluded and 0 will be included. So basically, instead of the interval being low to high, as high is none, so it will be from 0 to low. So remember, this is an important thing that you need to know about it. So now let us do one thing. Let us specify some size as well. So say size equals to 7, and if you run this code, that will give us 7 elements, but the range will be from 0 to 5, remember, and 5 is not included. So basically 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So basically the elements can be 0 to 4, where 5 will be excluded, which is low. Remember, 5 is not high, 5 is low. So I guess that's all about this tutorial. We discussed many functions. Let us do one thing. Let us revise everything again. So and numpy dot random dot rand, hold on, this is one of the function, rand, fine. And if you don't specify any parameter, then it will just give us one random value, so that is fine. So again, numpy dot random dot rand, I know it is confusing, that's why I'm discussing all the functions at the same time. So dot rand n, this is one of the functions, and here also if I don't specify any argument, then it will return one random value. So now after that, dot random dot ranf, this is not rand, remember, this is ranf. And again run this code. Hold on, I forgot one argument, not one function actually. So random dot rand int, yeah. And here you need to specify low, because this is a compulsory argument. Okay, fine. If I run this code, so see now over here, even if you don't specify any of the arguments, still it will give us some random value. Remember, these all are different values and distinct values, and rand int, so obviously this is going to be an integer. So we got an integer 1. So again, if you run this code, hold on, if you run this code again, now see, again we got some random value. Remember, it was 1. I'm not changing any code. Now if I run this code, it is 3, so now it became 4. So basically each and every time I run the code, I'm going to get random value. This is the beauty of this code actually. Now you might wonder, why do we need the random functions and all, but I can't tell it to you all as of now, because for example, I'm going to tell that when you practice data structures and algorithms, which is a really important thing in computer science or any programming related task, so in algorithms you are going to use this random function. So this is just a hint actually. So I know we saw all the 4 functions together, so it is a lot to take in. So I have just wrote the theory so that you can pause the video and watch it to yourself, or read it to yourself, so that you guys understand what is happening. Because even if I explain it again, you won't understand it, because I explained it before only. So I think that's all for this tutorial. You can subscribe to my channel if you like the content, and thanks for watching. Until then, stay tuned and keep learning. Thank you.